Mr. Ambassador, my theory would be that Iran likes having Joe Biden and would like Kamala Harris very much to be president, and they don't want to be striking Israel in the middle of the DNC. How'd I do?
Well, I don't think our domestic politics are that interesting to them. I think Iran has a pretty tough decision to make, which could explain the delay. They were humiliated when Israel assassinated Ismail Haniyeh, one of the key leaders of Hamas. Israel hasn't taken credit for it, but there's nobody in the world who doesn't think they did it. They killed this guy in a secure compound in Tehran with a bomb apparently planted 2 months before. And that's really a signal to everybody in Iran, including the supreme leader, that no one is safe. And not only is no one in Iran safe, but Iran's terrorist surrogates around the region know that they're not safe either. So to maintain its credibility, I think Iran really has to do something serious. But if they do, then they have to worry that Bibi Netanyahu, who was restrained by the Biden administration after Iran attacked some months ago with 320 drones and missiles, this time Bibi's not going to tolerate the pressure. He's going to do what he wants to do, which could be a severe blow against Iran, perhaps against its nuclear weapons program. And I think figuring that out, figuring what Hezbollah's role might be in this response, with a government inside Iran that's got some serious internal difficulties, I think you put all that together, and that could mean delay.
You say that the domestic policy considerations, domestic politics of the United States isn't that interesting to Iran. How interesting is it to Israel that you've got Benjamin Netanyahu, who clearly has, shall we say, to lightly put it, disagreements with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, had a breakup of sorts with Donald Trump, and now is in this window before the U.S. election?
Well, I think, again, I would say they're certainly aware of it. There's no doubt about it. But I think Netanyahu's probably, if he's got domestic politics on his mind, it's Israeli domestic politics. And I think he's got his own challenges in decision making. Hezbollah, by public accounts, has over 120,000 missiles in its arsenal. 120,000. And if you put enough missiles in the air, you can overwhelm any air defense system, including the excellent one that Israel has, augmented by U.S. and perhaps other allies. So Hezbollah is a real threat, and Iran is a real threat. We don't know when missiles start being launched in Iran aimed toward Israel if one of them might not have a nuclear weapon under the nose cone, and neither does Israel. So the stakes are very high here for everyone, but I think Netanyahu, if there's a strike from Iran this time that's at all significant, I don't think anybody in the United States is going to restrain him from a really significant retaliation inside Iran, which is a good thing. And what that means when you put all that together, Israeli thinking and Iranian thinking, is more than anything else, Iran fears Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. They do not fear Joe Biden and the United States.
As you say, you're making the point, right, that the United States is almost becoming irrelevant in this calculus in one way or another. And then we go ... the Ukrainians invading Russia for the first time without giving the United States a heads up.
Well, I think they think we've lost the bubble on Ukraine, and they're going to try and take advantage of what they clearly saw was a weakness in Russia's defenses. Ukraine did this before. There were periods right after the initial Russian invasion when Russia had taken significant territory along its border in northeast Ukraine. And at one point, the Ukrainians looked at it very carefully and saw that the Russians just weren't prepared. They had diverted troops away, and they launched a surprise attack and essentially cleaned up all the Russian positions in that part of Ukraine. Now they've seen another weakness. They've exploited it. I think it's a huge political hit against Putin, but I do think the Ukrainians have to be careful. I don't think the absence of news about Russia's doing means they're not doing anything. I think if they have any sense, they're going to try and lull the Ukrainians into some false sense of confidence and then try and hit them. And that would turn a big political win for Ukraine into a significant political and possibly military loss.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.